God. Sorry, scroll speed. That's what I gotta change. Okay, he turned my scroll speed way down. Guys, really cool setting that you should always have at least at 50%. Preferably higher. That's it. So guys, we're playing a Terran versus Zerg. Now, what we're going to be focusing on this game is two things. One, I'm going to talk you through my mechanics, but two, we're going to try and knock down two birds with one stone. I want to show you the power of mineral-focused play. Now, minerals is the basis of any economy, right? Minerals are your most important resource. Even if you're a Protoss player, and obviously we know how important Protoss tech units are, where, you know, gas becomes quite important as well. What we're going to focus on this game is a pure mineral focus as the game progresses. So I'm still going to open up with a Reaper opening, as you might do in a more normal game. For now, let's talk about this. Notice how I'm going to queue things up. This guy is already queued to mine minerals and then build the command center. And I'm setting up my camera location keys. Bit of an advanced mechanic a lot of players don't use. But if you use it, it's really nice to set that one up. Now, I'm not going to bother with things like changing the rally point on the SCV. That's extraneous APM. That gives me like a tiny bit of value. That's the sort of stuff I'm going to try and cut out today because it's so unimportant when you look at the big picture. We're going to immediately camera hotkey that, and we're going to set its rally point. And we're going to set this rally point. So we're building a Reaper. That's going to go scout, right? Behind this, let's go for another barracks. And I really want to show the power of just overwhelming bio numbers. I'm hoping he plays Lingbane, because that really, I think, kind of drives this point home more than anything else. And this Reaper, we're going to hotkey it, and we're going to tell it to go in. And we're just going to keep an eye on our minimap, and when it gets to their entrance, that's when we're going to look at the Reaper. Until then, we're kind of just going to ignore that. Now, it's easy in this scenario to want to do a 2-on-1, but we're going to play a super mineral-focused build. We're not going to take our second gas pretty much forever. So now we look at the Reaper by double-tapping its control group. And we're just going to run away because I don't have the APM for that, okay? So we're just going to sit at the third base for now, or actually sit out front. And we're going to build a tech lab. We're going to start marine production. And since the main base is saturated on minerals and one gas, we're going to rally down to this natural. Start the orbital straight away. And this is going to be a warming up process. I'm going to get better at commentating these basics as we go. He's going to try and engage me. So this Reaper's going to just go check the third base, and then he's going to go hide on that watchtower on the north. Yeah, so he's going to hide up the top. We're going to build another reactor. And we're still only on one gas, notice. And this is something which actually can make you... It's like, if you don't want to react to your opponent, you just want to work on fundamentals. Heavy gas builds are just so lit. These are, like, honestly the easiest way to just, like, be safe against most things and see what's going on. Now, around 3 minutes 34 minutes, whenever you're doing a build that doesn't have Hellions or any mobility as Terran, really nice thing to do is to have that Reaper hidden somewhere. And then we've already seen a third base, which is a sign of, oh yeah, we're probably not being all in. But if we just queue him to go through, and we try to see what's popping out of the eggs, that's going to give us another big tell about what's happening. And we can start a nice fast third command center. So what do we see? A Baneling nest? See drones? And well, it looks like we're going to go down, but I already saw drones popping out a second gas. Baneling nest not even finished. Whereas if I saw fighting units popping out, if I saw only one gas, it would actually be more signs of, hey, there might be a big ass attack coming my way, right? So we're focusing so much on bio this game. Upgrades are going to be really important. So this is a way we can add some longevity to the style that we're playing. And you know what? They're going to cost a lot of gas. So we're going to start a second gas, guys. Oh my god! Obviously, every now and then we're just going to go through the macro cycle. Now that my wall's finished, I've got the first wall and then the second wall. I will have to fill that in later. Actually, I think you can fit through there. But anyways, we're going to start building the SCVs in a nice tight clump here, where there isn't really space for production. And that's going to make it really easy for me to come there and actually just kind of queue up more stuff. Now at this point, I'd like to be building more Marauders as well. When you're going pure bio, you really do want those. So, also around 60 to 70 supply, you want to start building 2 depots at a time. And these guys, you never queue back to minerals. So if I'm to build like a factory right now or something, I would actually queue my workers back onto minerals, right? But these guys, they just stay there. So my macro cycle is about every 25 seconds, I go, okay, let's go SCVs, drop mules, queue up units, Marines, and then depots. Now you'll see I don't have money just yet, that's okay. As long as you got a good income. So periodically we're gonna do that same order over and over and over again, right? Where it's just gonna be like, okay, do this. Now in between that, we can do other things that don't come as a natural cycle, but we have to do sometimes. So we need an armory, but we don't have a factory yet. Let's build that factory. And there we go, SCVs, mules, let's drop more mules, more SCVs, queue up some more Marines and Marauders, and hey, it's time to build more depots. If you can just get this cycle down, you can kind of do it without even thinking about it. And in between those actions, you can focus on all the other cool things. So notice, as soon as I land my third, I'm already going to set my rally points over there. And this is just going to be the most beast-like macro play round. I don't care about gas. I care so little about gas, it's actually kind of funny. Let's get combat shields started. Should have already started that a lot earlier, but that's alright. And what are we doing here? We're rallying everything there, sending extra SCVs. Let's get that armory going. Keep building these, keep building more SCVs, more mules. We're going to finish this wall here as well, so I might as well just queue that up ahead of time, even though obviously I've got plenty of supply free, so it's a little bit unnecessary. It's always better to do that earlier rather than later. And now as combat shields is like halfway done, I think it's a good time to push out. And we're going to begin what we call the endless wave of Terran. And this is how you play Zerg, even whilst playing Terran. Is basically, we're going to add more barracks, we can go up to 8 barracks, and we're just going to keep A moving with tons of units. Now it won't be complete A move, we're not really going to be doing much active micro, right? That's going to be the big kind of difference here. So what we're going to do, always save a scan before you go in. So I'm going to pull back a little bit because I need a few seconds for a scan. And my combat shields is still 10 seconds from finishing, so always be aware of your upgrades.
Research.
Let's start 2-2. We want to start a 4th base as well. Okay, so let's start 2-2. Gas. Alright, let's go. So we're going to drop a scan ahead of our force. And we're going to say, okay, let's stim. And box click. Don't even know what I'm going into, but this is always a good way to go. I then stim and A move, and we go, we have Wambus. Luckily for me, I have pretty much endless stuff. So, we're going to try and take a 4th here, and then a 5th down here next. So what am I doing, guys? I am building more reactors, more tech labs, more bio.
Add-on complete.
And I'm just continuing to expand. Now this is a great way to actually improve your macro, is just to play this low gas style. Notice I've only got 2 gases. So my SCV count isn't actually as insane as you might think, because we're not mining off those gases. That's 3 workers. That's 12 workers we don't have to invest in. And even though it does lose some efficiency with our units, especially if you want to focus more on the spending side, the macro side, that sort of stuff. Ow, that hurts. Stim over that. Probably not worth stimming my whole force for that since I'm not building medevacs yet. We will head up to medevacs very slowly now. And we're still building more SCVs. Most importantly, tons of Marines and Marauders. Now, we can see my gas income's a little bit out of whack, so we can drop a 3rd gas so I can keep up a few more Marauders. But for now, let's just keep rallying Marines and Marauders en masse. Main base is mining out, so we can get those guys there. This command center can move down. And we can change our rally point there as well. Now what do we save? Always save energy when you're moving out as a Terran. And we want to try and spread our units out as much as possible. Now unfortunately, Hydrabane is one of the most awkward compositions to fight against, so I had to do a little bit more active micro there. He's going to overwhelm us, but we see his upgrades kind of suck compared to ours, so if I can just keep massing up units, we should actually be in a really good position. So let's keep expanding here. Let's think about getting some medevacs. And let's start adding some spotting units, so we don't get surprised by any more of those Baneling counters. So what I'm actually doing is just sending those Marines out, and then I'm going to grab my units from my rally, box those. I'm going to say, okay. So, make sure my rally's there, make sure I have tons of units queued up. Build a base even in the midst of this. And it looks like, even with the most basic composition here, absolutely no micro other than a few basic splits, I should be able to eventually overwhelm this. Let's pull back a little bit. We're going to pull some SCVs in. And what we're going to do is we're going to move that. Maybe. What's his up? Oh, he does actually have +2 melee on the Zerglings. It looks like we're going to get overwhelmed. GG's. So 0 harassment in those basic mundane level of play we could bring out in terms of micro. But this was actually very close. If we had a few more units out, or if we worked some more pressure in there at some point, suddenly he probably couldn't have kept up. GG. Whoops. GG, well played. G to the G. Hey. Hey, what's happening?